Thank you for joining me. I'm Dory Schneider from Stampin' Always with Dory, and I'm here to show you a quick and easy way to use your DSP, Designer Series paper. The products that I'm featuring today can be found in your spring catalog from Stampin' Up. I'm using the Parisian Blossom Suite. I will be using the Forever Blossoms bundle, and it's a bundle and save. So if you choose to order the stamp set and the dies, you get 10% off. The other item I will be using is the Parisian Blossoms Specialty Designer Series paper. So let's go ahead and get started. What you will need for your project in order to make this card here is a 3 3/4 square of Designer Series paper. And what you will do is you will take your cutting tool, paper cutter, and you will put your DSP in here right on the diagonal. And you will end up with 2 pieces of your Designer Series paper. So next I'm going to bring in, I have my card base. My card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and that is basic black. Then the next piece I will need is a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White. Then I will need my 2 pieces of Parisian Blossoms Designer Series paper. And those, I'm just gonna put those down so you can see where they're gonna go. So you'll have one at the top and one at the bottom, okay? And this allows for a nice sentiment to go right there in that space. The sentiment that I chose today is from the Daisy Delight stamp set. There's this nice bold thank you, and that's what I'm going to use on my card. I'm going to use my Memento ink. Move this aside here. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. And so this is not placed yet. I like to see where I should be putting my sentiment. So there's my thank you, nice and bold in black. Okay, and so now I can go ahead, I'm going to use my snail adhesive. You can obviously use your adhesive of choice. Move my cardstock here, and we're going to go ahead and attach our top and bottom piece of Designer Series paper. The original design of this was Patty Bennett, so this is one that I adapted from her. And so I have my piece there on the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back in, and I'm going to put my other piece there on the bottom. Okay, so there's your main piece, and look at the beautiful shimmer and luster in that Designer Series paper. It's absolutely beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is I will take my 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White, and I will go ahead and add that right onto my card front. Like so. I'm gonna use, I like to use my bone folder to smooth everything out and make sure everything's attached. It's a great additional use for a bone folder. So there's your thank you. So next we're gonna come, and I have pre-stamped 3 of the cherry blossoms that are featured in the stamp set, Forever Blossoms stamp set. Okay, and we're gonna color those in with our Stampin' Blends. If you haven't ever used Stampin' Blends, you want to make sure you're using them with our Memento ink. It's fade resistant. And you're going to take, there is a thin side and a thick side. So you can, whichever one you would like to use, I'm gonna start with the thick side, and I'm using Flirty Flamingo. There's actually, and I'm just gonna go around and color in my 3 flowers that I have here, okay? If I wanna do the fine detail, I would use kind of the other side of my marker, which is more of the pen point, and then this side is more of a marker point, okay? So there you go. You've gone around and you've colored those in. And one of the great things about blends is, hence the name blend, you can come back with a darker color and you can shade and blend right on top of each other. It makes you feel like a little Bob Ross or a little Picasso. So I'm gonna go ahead and just color over top of these lines. And that's one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! Stamp sets. They kind of give you these little shade lines on your stamps so you know exactly where you need to go over and shade or add dimension. Okay. And then one of my favorites is ivory. And I think ivory is great because it kind of tones everything down a little bit. So if I don't want it to be quite as pink, I can add the ivory over top and it gives a completely different look. So I went ahead and I'm gonna shade with my thin tip, and then I'm gonna come over top with my marker tip. And you can see the difference, how it kind of, it fades it out a little bit, and it definitely changes the color of the Flirty Flamingo. It makes it a little bit, gives it a little bit of an orangey tint. Okay. So there are my 3 flowers, my little cherry blossoms. I'm gonna put them aside. Then I'm gonna come back and I have these 2 leaves here. And I chose my green. This is light granny apple green. It's hard to see, but I promise it is. And I'm going to start with the thicker side and just go ahead and cover up the whole leaf there on both of those. Okay, then I'm gonna come back with a different color, which would be Old Olive. Old Olive is one of my favorite greens. And like I said, you can come in and shade where those little, kind of the little gray lines are that Stampin' Up! Has provided for us. And they make it so easy to feel like an artiste. Okay. So just kind of scribbling over those lines, no real rhyme or reason to the way that I'm coloring there. And then I'm gonna come back with my darkest color, which is another one of our great greens, and that one is Mossy Meadow. And this is the light Mossy Meadow. So in our Stampin' Blends, we have a light and we have a dark. So that allows you to do your shading. Oh, it sticks right to my finger. So I'm just gonna go over top of my veins there with my light Mossy Meadow. Okay. And do it on this one too. So aren't those leaves beautiful? See how, whoops. They really add, it really adds dimension when you add those 3 different colors to them. Okay, so now we're ready to finish our card, complete the front. Basically just adding little detail here at the bottom. So I'm going to take my 3 cherry blossoms and I'm going to put them on with dimensionals. I love dimensionals. I'm thankful that I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I get a discount on all of my products. So I can definitely stock up on my dimensionals. So if you think you might be interested in getting a discount on all your crafting supplies, you can contact me. I would love to have you as part of my team. And let's see, I'm gonna do just a little group of 3 there, a little trio. And then I'm gonna come and just add my leaves. And I'm going to use snail adhesive on the back, just a little bit right there on the back. And I'm going to slide it under. And then what I do is I take my bone folder and just go in there and push down to make sure it's where it needs to be. And then I'm gonna do the same on the other side with my other little leaf. Okay, and I'm going to put that right in there, add my bone folder, and we have our 3 little cherry blossoms. So I have this pen, it's called Wink of Stella. I absolutely love it. It adds shimmer and shine to your projects. And it coordinates kind of with the shimmer and shine that is on the silver embossed look on the back of the designer series paper. So I added some Wink of Stella, and no flower is complete without having a center. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. This is a great product that Stampin' Up! Offers. And the neat thing is you can turn these around. It has a little poker, and then it also has, whoops, I did that, sorry, backwards. But you can use this and you can pick up things with it. So little sequins, it's a great tool to have. It's one of my favorites. So this is the little spatula. I call it my Stampin' spatula. And I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna pick up one of my little metallic pearls. And I picked silver because that's what's in the designer series paper. And these little guys are a little wild today. Wild on a Wednesday. They've been quarantined too, so I guess they're getting a little stir crazy as well. So there we go. All right, so I went ahead and added my metallic pearls, silver metallic pearls, to the center of my cherry blossoms, and that is your completed card right there. So then all you would need to do is you would take your 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock for the inside, and you could go ahead and put that right in there. And then once you're ready and you figure out who you're sending your thank you to, you can go ahead and stamp the inside and it's ready to send. So again, I thank you for watching today. My name is Dory Schneider from Stampin' Always with Dory. And if you need any supplies, I would love for you to choose me as your demonstrator, doryschneider.stampinup.net, and my April hostess code is listed above. Thank you and have a blessed day. Bye.